Welcome back to Ben Keenan Just Can't Stop Talking, the water cooler episode, aka the 10-ish minute news and culture show, where we talk about everything that happened over the day and also a little bit over yesterday so that you're a little bit smarter about a lot of things. I am so sorry about my accidental week-long hiatus. Work got the best of me. So if you guys listen, most of you know that I have a full-time job, and last week I was clocking 12, 13 hours a day. Didn't have time to keep up with the news, didn't have time to film, didn't have time to edit. I was literally online from like 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. working straight every single day. I hit a wall, and unfortunately that means you didn't get the news. But I am back. Some would say better than ever. Not I, but some might say that. It is Monday. It is Monday, March 10th, and I don't know about you, but how has March already been around for 10 days? I feel like Valentine's Day was yesterday, and it was truly almost a month ago. Explain that to me. But yesterday was daylight savings time. And so we have a 7 o'clock sunset here in Seattle, which is how you can see me after work today, still lit up from the lovely natural light that I have outside of my windows. By now, you all know the drill. We are going to start with everything that happened overnight, which in this case was the weekend, and then we're going to move into everything that happened today. So let's go ahead and get started. Over the weekend, Canada elected Mark Carney from the Liberals, which is kind of like the Democrats here in the United States, as the new Prime Minister of Canada, replacing Justin Trudeau. If you're curious how he plans to engage with Donald Trump, because, Justin Trudeau had a big role in the engagement with Donald Trump, just take a look at this.
America is not Canada. And Canada never, ever will be part of America in any way, shape, or form. Look, we didn't ask for this fight. We didn't ask for this fight. But Canadians are always ready when someone else drops the gloves. So the Americans, they should make no mistake, in trade as in hockey, Canada will win.
So the next federal election is technically in October, but those could always happen sooner. I guess Canada has a weird system where you can kick somebody out and call for elections early. I'm not going to go into that because it's confusing to everyone and there's no reason to confuse anybody unless that actually happens. So stay tuned on that front. Buffalo Bills quarterback Josh Allen just re-signed a 6-year, $330 million contract extension that includes a guaranteed $250 million to stay in Buffalo, making it the largest guarantee ever given to an NFL player. Actress Emily Osment, which you know from Hannah Montana, but probably also Young and Hungry. Wasn't that a ABC Family show or Freeform, or what is it now? Anyway, she filed for divorce after less than 5 months of marriage. And finally, South Korea's military said that North Korea had started firing several ballistic missiles off of North Korea's west coast. So that's not great. Okay, on to the news of today. So Doechii, you all know Doechii.
My grass is really green and honestly, I can't even fucking cap no more. This is a really dark time for me.
She was named Billboard's 2025 Woman of the Year. And honestly, she's kind of also my Woman of the Year. So me and Billboard, just like this. Michelle Obama and her brother, Craig Robinson, are launching a new weekly podcast called IMO, which I'm assuming stands for In My Opinion, because they will be meeting with experts and special guests to discuss listener questions and share opinions and advice on said questions. I am really confused about the Michelle Obama post-First Lady arc that she's on. She had a podcast, but it was the Becoming Michelle Obama. So it sounds like the podcast was kind of her accompanying podcast to the book that she released, which was also Becoming. And she's been doing tours across the country. And Barack is going to events solo, which, I'm not concerned about the divorce rumors that people are talking about. I'm just kind of she's really just kind of riding her own journey. And I'm really intrigued by the fact that she is now having a podcast that's an advice podcast with her brother. It's giving Meghan Markle, kind of, but in a very different trajectory. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts because I can't be alone in this. Ariana Grande announced that the deluxe version of Eternal Sunshine will be released on March 28th. So all of you who were all up in arms about that question that she got at the red carpet, you can rest easy, March 28th. Steph Curry, NBA player with the Golden State Warriors, but also Davidson College alumni, has become the first active player in U.S. major sports history to accept an NCAA team administrative role, becoming the assistant GM at Davidson. So the Dow futures, which is some stock market money shit that I don't understand, plunged over 500 points to start the week as continued fears of a recession mount, followed closely by the Dow, then dropping 890 points by 1 p.m. And even Fox News is freaking out.
What started as an ugly day on Wall Street has turned downright hideous. Broad-based selling across the board, and you could call it a sinkhole that's opened up under the NASDAQ. With 59 minutes left to trade, the tech-heavy index is down. But this is a big percentage loss here, 4.6% or 845 points.
The Supreme Court announced today that they will hear a challenge to a Colorado law that bans the use of youth conversion therapy, aka the attempt to convert gay, lesbian, LGBTQ children into being straight. So the Supreme Court's going to hear the fact that Colorado banned it and somebody's suing against it. The Canadian province of Ontario announced that they will charge 25% more for electricity to 1.5 million Americans in response to Trump's tariffs on Canada. Actress and model Olivia Culpo announced that she and her husband, San Francisco 49ers player Christian McCaffrey, are expecting their first baby. So remember like a month ago when we talked about how the Menendez brothers might be having their new trial so that their time can be released in prison? Well, the Los Angeles district attorney has withdrawn his request for a reduction in the brothers' sentences, saying that they have not shown full insights into their crime because they have failed to acknowledge that their claim of self-defense was fabricated and therefore have not taken responsibility for their crimes in the first place. Elon Musk said that the outage that happened on Twitter this morning was caused by a massive cyber attack, saying, quote, "There was, in parentheses, still is, a massive cyber attack against X. We get attacked every day, but this was done with a lot of resources. Either a large coordinated group and or a country is involved. Tracing." I wrote notes. First, my note said, I don't normally trust Elon, or at all, really, but when it comes to his own company, why would he lie? Well, it's been a few hours since that, and I do have an update. Not surprisingly, he's blaming Ukraine for hacking him.
There was a cyber attack on X today, which shut it down and may have been foreign sourced. Yes. It's a big story. You want to give us a moment on that?
Well, we're not sure exactly what happened, but there was a massive cyber attack to try to bring down the X system with IP addresses originating in the Ukraine area.
Well, so that's your suspicion. Is the website...
In NFL news, former Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers signed a 2-year, $100 million contract with the Minnesota Vikings, and former Vikings quarterback Sam Darnold signed a 3-year, $100.5 million contract with the Seattle Seahawks. Woo! Go Hawks! Gene Smart is returning to Broadway after 25 years in a 12-week run for a new play called Call Me Izzy. I did already sign up for the pre-purchasing whatever because the first day of that play is my second day in New York in May. So I might be there. I don't know. The Trump administration arrested and is planning to deport Mohammed Khalil, a Palestinian activist who helped plan the Columbia University protest last year, who is also a graduate student at Columbia and a green card holder, meaning that he has permanent residency here in the U.S. Officials of the Department of Homeland Security said that Khalil's arrest was a result of Trump's executive orders prohibiting anti-Semitism in the United States. So now here's the thing. The Trump administration just unilaterally decided that anything that he alone sees as anti-Semitic is not only illegal, but worthy of legal immigrants being deported and banished from the US. And you know that this is bad when even Republicans and living, walking embodiments of hatred like Ann Coulter are openly saying that this action is a direct slap in the face in violation of the First Amendment, especially since Khalil hasn't been charged for any crimes and the group that he represents has openly rejected any claims of anti-Semitism because they're saying instead they're part of a broader anti-war movement that also includes Jewish students. You guys, this slope is so slippery. On a completely different note, Lamborghini unveiled a $5,000 baby stroller. Wendy Williams was unexpectedly taken to the hospital for evaluation today from her assisted living facility in New York after slipping a paper out of the window of her room onto the street that read, quote, "Help, exclamation point, Wendy, exclamation point." This comes after she's been claiming that she doesn't have any memory issues and that she's actively being held captive in this home like a prisoner. So we'll see what comes from this evaluation. And finally, Harry Potter actress Jessie Cave, she was the one that played Lavender Brown.
Where is he? Where's my 1-1? doing here? I might ask you the same question. I happen to be his girlfriend. I happen to be his friend. That made me laugh. You haven't spoken in weeks.
Started an OnlyFans for, quote, sensual hair stuff, saying that she's going to brush her hair, very AMR style, swishing it around, etc. For people with a fetish, saying that she's going for a slutty Mormon, kind of a very pure aesthetic. Honestly, get your bag, Lavender. And that's it. That's all the news that happened today. Thank you again for joining me and trusting me and giving you the correct information, because I get it. We don't all have the time to track this. We will be back tomorrow with more news. I promise you, I will be back tomorrow with more news. I know you have a little bit of an abandonment issue with me right now because I kind of took the whole week off accidentally and didn't say anything. But if you can't wait until tomorrow, I'm on social media. You can find me at TikTok and YouTube at I've Been Traveling. You can find me on Instagram and Threads at Ben Keenan. Please do not forget to like, subscribe, share, comment, view again and again and again, because all of this just helps us build our community. And the bigger the community, the more time I can dedicate to doing this for you. All right, see you tomorrow. Bye.